I have never heard of the dark web.
Bad stuff is on it, that's all I know.
No, I wouldn't know anything really about the deep and dark web, being honest.
No, I don't know the difference.
No.
No.
Have no idea.
My name is Brant Dano. I'm doing a PhD in the Department of Computer Science at Maynooth University. My specialty is the ethics of internet technology, particularly privacy, and it might sound a little bit unusual, freedom, because there's a lot of technology on the internet which threatens personal freedom in lots of different ways.
I know about the dark web because my stepdad is a guard. Well, he was a guard. He's now a detective, and he used to tell my mum stories, and my mum used to tell me them.
Myself, I haven't done it, but my uncle has done it, and I'm nearly sure like you can do it in a matter of minutes. I know that we only hit like 1% of the internet really, like on the surface web, and that as soon as we you need like to download a Tor, and like the end of that is usually on onion.onion, and like the reason why it's like onion is like the layers of an onion, and you peel back, and that's what hides your IP address, and it bounces you to like different countries, so like you're hidden from people on it.
Stories he told me were all kind of about what he found, and it was like really, really bad stuff. Like some of it was like child pornography, and how there was websites called Silk Road, I think that was like the nickname for it, and that was where you get the drugs, where you can hire a hitman. You can basically get anything. My mum told me about a website that they found, and it was how to cook women, and it was about where to cook them, and this was cooking them alive, and it was like where to cut them, how to like peel them, all that kind of stuff.
It's crazy, like the disgusting stuff people do, and they don't even want that much money for it. Like it's insane. And I remember I wanted to buy an iPhone or something, and it was some guy, and he was working in Apple, and he was actually stealing from Apple and like selling. So like I'm sure there's loads of people doing that type of stuff.
So the dark web is probably most of the internet, and it's what's been going on since before anybody had what we could now call the World Wide Web. It's basically any form of communication using the internet between computer systems as opposed to people. So for example, if you have a car reporting its maintenance status back to some central office, even things like Google Maps could be considered part of the dark web. It's the stuff that people don't see, hence it's dark. The deep web is a subset of the dark web that people have used in order to create the equivalent of what we see as the World Wide Web, but in a way that's not accessible through normal means such as Google search and basic URLs and so on. It will have that same technology, but it's designed primarily to work on the back of these underlying services, the infrastructure of technical services within society. And I use these sorts of systems for anything where I don't want what I'm doing to be recorded. Basically what my research has shown is that everything you do online is recorded by dozens of companies. So typically, for example, if you go to any commercial website such as say CNN or the Disney website, about 200 different companies will be tracking your activity. The worst is actually the Disney website, which has got about 257 different companies tracking what kids are doing on that website. This information is then compiled and sold. It's a hierarchy of businesses, at the top level of which you have what are called profile companies, and what these are doing is gathering information on each individual from any source they possibly can. So they're buying bank records, travel records, credit references, and also tracking you online so that they can create a complete picture of you, what they call cradle to grave total profiling. There's about 1 billion people that have been profiled so far, and then this information is sold to whoever wants it, whether it be a bank or a government or similar.
A lot of it is kind of found through IP addresses because it can be tracked. Like a lot of them use like VPN things, and that kind of like spaces out the IP address and all that stuff. But the guards have software that are able to track them down. So if they do track them down, they find like evidence and all on it. They have to like bring them in, obviously, but a lot of the guards seek like counselling and all because of what they see afterwards.
Because people are gradually becoming aware of how much tracking and how little privacy they have on the web, we're starting to see the growth in a privacy-preserving market. So you've got, for example, messaging systems like Signal, which are completely untrackable. We've got the rise of search engines like DuckDuckGo, which doesn't track you. And we've got the rise of private browsers such as Brave and the Tor browser, which goes straight onto the dark web and uses that as its communication channel.
I saw another thing, and there was a guy, and he like abused like over 17 children, and the youngest was like 18 months old, and he was buying like these little, you know, what are like lingerie type, but like they're made for kids, like off the dark web, and putting them on, and he had like thousands of users. Like,
You can go on it without anyone knowing, so you're not doing anything illegal because nobody knows. But when they find out that you've been on it and what you've bought from it, they've proved then that you have that stuff. They can't actually turn around and ask you how you've been on, because your computer could have been hacked. You know what I mean? So the history could have been there from someone else being on it. But if they find that something like drugs and all that stuff has been delivered to your house through the dark web and through your IP address, then they can get you.
There are lots of legitimate reasons for wanting to use a secure encrypted communication. So the point about what you do on the dark web with these technologies is it cannot be tracked. Using it in and of itself doesn't make you a criminal or indicate any criminal or nefarious activity, and there are plenty of perfectly good reasons for doing it. And the reality is, if you do use it for illegal activity, you're not going to get caught.
Don't really know much about the dark web. My mate bought a vaping machine off it once. We all got really high.